go to 309, and this is a Chicago calling event. And for the first time in history, you guys are going to see me be a prick about keeping time limits. Here's what's gonna happen, right? Everybody's allotted 10 minutes on stage. When you get to the 9-minute mark, watch very carefully. Jamie will wave at you, right? When you hit the 10-minute mark, Jamie will start clapping. You are all to join her, and we will applaud you off stage. This is what we came up with because nobody had an extra taser for me. That's sad. We got a lot of people doing things. We got some people Skyping and phone calling and stuff like that. A lot of people collaborated, and those people are way too busy to Skype or phone. So we're going to be doing some other things of a different nature. But it is still all collaborative arts, ladies and gentlemen, and nobody wants to go. Everybody walked up to me and said, "I don't want to be first." Not like it's an open mic. Right? This is what I'm going to do, Bob. I'm going to go first and show people how absolutely painless this is. Right? But as tradition would hold, I have to do chimes. My collaborator comes from a town called Dangerfield, Texas. He used to live here. He lived here in Chicago a million years ago, where we used to write a bunch of songs together under the band. The poetry and music collaboration was called The False Messiahs. I was Buddha, and he was the rodeo Jesus. And so this is what we've done. We're going to do a little piece for y'all called American Hipster. With a 6-pack of red stripe in one hand and 15 road flares duct taped to your chest. You're pretty sure it has something to do with a woman. It's always a woman. And the perception you'll have that she's in some sort of distress. Talking to that knuckle dragger that never even read the Cliff Notes to Hemingway. And you'll feel it like someone else washed their socks in your mouth. And you want to start looking for the truck that hit you, the dog that bit you, or the cat that left you with this wonderful smell, like ammonia, Dante's Inferno, and the really violent outtakes of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Your head is beginning to put things in order. You remember meeting a girl jam up to her jelly type, and it looked like the beginning of a beautiful friendship. She would call you Rick, you would call her Louie, and you figured it would end in a state of matrimonial bliss, or a hail of gunfire. That's when the Bukowski wannabe insulted her honor, which led to the fight which caused the black eye. And you figured all the mysteries had been solved, but this is really just incidental. When you came to, the flares were already taped to your chest. There was a kitten in your pocket of your train blazer, the one with the patches on the elbow. The one that makes you look like an intellectual hipster, as opposed to a regular hipster or a hipster douchebag. And you were sitting in the passenger seat of an F-29 Mercury. The tour girl was behind the wheel, and you were feeling all in love. And she just smiles and says, here's the plan. First, we rob a liquor store. And everything after that is blank. You slowly crawl out of the dumpster, wondering why you only have one of your Chuck Taylors pull the kitten out of your pocket. I decide to name the cat Bonnie. You head home, grab a shower, put on your Cannonball Adderley, and realize it ain't that easy being an American hipster. That was me and the radio Jesus. Yeah. And, You're in charge of that. Janet's in charge of the end, everybody. Once again, I'm delegating tonight. What we're gonna do now is I'm actually gonna ask Matt to come up and do his bit, and then after Matt comes up, I'm gonna call up Bob Rashkow, so you can plan to have Bob Rashkow's stuff ready to project. You see, that's what I'm thinking about. And I will now vacate my stool in case anybody else in the room wants to use it, and go back to my chair. Matt Martin is actually collaborating with Susie Swanton. Now he's saying that Susie Swanton from Chicago. But right now, Susan Swanton is living in Estonia. Yeah. Right. It's Tartu, Estonia.
This is abstraction. This is a conceptual piece based upon a collaborative poem written by Matt Barton, interpreting Susan Swanton's thoughts about the dawn of culture. The poem has been painstakingly rendered in an ancient system of abstract symbols, which was familiar to people thousands of years ago. The performer will present these symbols to an audience without explanation on 75 separate panels. The audience will decipher the meaning of this piece without assistance from the performer. No prior knowledge or experience is assumed.
E.
Boring.
T. H. E.
D.
Like B in the sentence.
Prelude.
R. E.
Over there.
W. E.
E.
R. There were. Somebody writing this down?
Yes.
G. L. P.
What is it, THC?
Where there were temps.
L. E. Before there were temples. T. H.
Everything was beautiful and nothing hurt.
E. R. E.
There.
Before there were temples there. W.
W.
E. R.
E.
E. Before there were temples there were.
What were there?
We're all on pins and needles.
We're brothels.
H.
Humans.
Still H. A. N. N. Only one. Don't write it down twice. E.
Nice.
It's gonna be an S.
L. F.
Okay.
And
U. L.
Oh.
there were handfuls.
There were handfuls.
There were handfuls.
O.
Still up. F. Uh-oh.
L.
Uh-oh.
Their handfuls of what?
We want
Yes.
to know what was
V. I. V. I.
This section's
V.
vivid.
Y. E. L. And L.
Before there were temples, there were what?
Vivid yellow.
Of yellow.
Streams. Now white.
T.
T. O.
Oh. S.
SS. Yellow. Toss.
SS.
That's amazing.
E. D.
Vivid yellow toss.
Tossed.
And
Two. S. H.
L.
Shallots. O.
All right, again.
What's so far? C. Or there were pencils that were yellow.
Tom knows how to read. It's
There were handfuls of yellow, vivid yellow.
Vivid yellow.
Shallow. Gray.
and that is the dawn of culture.
Great.
Everybody got it? All right, so I did my part.
All right.
That was Matt Martin and Susie Swell. All right, now we have Bob Rashkow.
Yeah.
Collaborating with an artist from New York named Corin Buck. This is your
time.
For the third time you're doing this?
Welcome to Chicago Calling, everybody.
Right on Bobster.
And Orrin Buck is a great video artist as well as painter. And these are in response to 4 of his videos, which you can access by going to vimeo.com. People search Orrin Buck. Are we going to project them, or?
I think Wayne's working on that.
All you have to do is show little clips because these are relatively short poems. The first one will be Venus Sits Again. Stand by, please. If not, I'll just read the poems. It won't be the first time. Don't touch that dial. Don't touch that dial.
Okay. Nina. Reno.
Number 9 is never on.
It'll go down to people. We don't have to scroll. I think if you click on search, the search thing.
There's a drop down and you go.
You're new, aren't you?
Yeah, people search. When you put in the orange buckets, 4 videos.
The most insulting thing you've ever done. Oh yeah, you're new.
I say that all the time, and if someone like goes through this I can't even understand the concept. Like, you stepped into the story, you're just like yesterday, and it's like,
Oh, you friend.
you are new, aren't you?
It fits in well.
And there.
I've been wanting to go there just for a couple of days.
Oh, dude, excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Where'd you get from?
Venus sits down.
That's a Thursday? Yeah.
That's definitely. All right, I'll do blue.
I'll need a babysitter. Where you going?
That's blue.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. I'll do that one first.
I saw the Royce and I was like, it's comedy and if comedy is not
Light Dreams 4, Hula Hoop. Moving so slowly, turning, pirouetting, dancer 14 in the endless troupe, the Chipmunk song at only 16 revolutions per minute. But she's already got her hoop. From the upper balconies, a few cheering folk make it plain they appreciate the joke. Symmetry and spiral join as one. Was this supposed to be their idea of fun? Then why is it happening in a dream? Why is nothing what it would seem? Yet look, how the circular pattern does turn. The girl does an instant twirl in front and behind her fellow paraders. Rightward, homeward bound. That's the first one. Isn't it fantastic?
All right, let's do Venus sits again. You know? See, you don't take it like that.
Number 2, Venus sits again. Time tunnel holds goddess of lust, eases herself down, she lets out a cuss. Her eyes are decades, spanning the coast. Nothing is lost in the universe of her eyes. A mermaid, a shellfish caught in her gaze, bronze woman of eternal days, her vision colored by stark memory, the waves on the sea floating green and free. She pauses just for a moment, kneels, foam and fiber collect at her heels. The tunnel flows on, but she keeps still. Built up by the masses, the stones, the beachcombers, the drones, the thrills, and the hills.
And the third one is Dark Parade.
This is also a parade that Oren photographed in his surreal psychedelic mode, like the first one with the hula hooper. This is the Coney Island Mermaid Parade. He made it into a dark fantasy. So this is Dark Parade. The sky has disappeared. The village ground is dark. We aren't strolling through the park, not on this heavy, heavy night, morning. Mermen with no tails, sailboats with no sails, murmurs from the bystanders echo like soft wails. Mardi Gras without flying beads, trinkets but no gems, A juggler stops, then starts, vaguely amusing them. A roar erupts from the crowd, not all that loud. A ball of wax set loose falls charitably to the drizzled ground. Thank you. The only one left is Light Dreams Blue. Warning, this could cause a mind trip. It's very psychedelic groovy.
What are you talking about?
Oh. All right, Light Dreams Blue, this is the last one. On a journey, I came from something. Don't know where I'm headed, but it looks like someplace. Green, then blue, yellow, purple, black, gray. My mind is assaulted by scattered photographs, pictures of something I came from, but what will it all lead to? At times, it looks as though the pictures meld into one, and I can see for just a split moment my destination, my home. Am I joining those who died before me? Am I waking from a nightmare? Where does the madness end? Does this beauty ever end? Will I come to or just keep on dreaming? Pictures, paintings, stitch samplers, pamphlets, mad river of life fading. Thank you very much. Thank you, Oren, and thank you, Wayne.
This whole night is unconventional, really. All right, I'm going to call up Charlie Rossiter. Right. We're going to have Sid Yiddish and letting people know that because we have to Skype somebody into that.
Hey.
Let's see, there you go, man. You're embarrassing.
Okay, I'm kind of literal. I'm actually going to call somebody, you know, kind of simple. Call them up. Assume they're going to answer. Who's not from Chicago. This is. Yeah, Chicago's calling. Yeah, oh my God, I might have to borrow somebody's cell phone. Well prepared. Okay, I'm calling my buddy Tom Nicotera. He lives in the Hartford, Connecticut area. We got a poem, and he found a poem in his computer that we both wrote that he remembered. And then we got another couple of things related to. Okay, there went the battery, guys. I need to borrow a cell phone. Anybody got one? I can't believe that. Uh-oh. I don't know how to do it. Mine has a little, oh, there you go. Can I have that antique there? That's what I need, just like mine.
He needs a dumb phone.
Yeah, that's right, that's what I need. Exactly.
Do you know how to process so they can hear him?
No, I don't. You want to come up and help me? You can have help, and this is collaborative work. Okay. Where the hell's send? The green button must be send.
Hold on, no, it's not. Hold on.
It's not, it says calling. Calling. Chicago calling.
All the charges.
Oh,
Right.
scratch it. Do whatever. God, can you believe that? I take it simple because I can't handle all this stuff.
I'm not doing anything.
Hang on. Oh, really? Here he is.
Yes, people have. No, it's speaking.
Hey, Tom, is that you? Tom, baby. Hey. Wrong number. You should. Okay, sorry. I mean, sorry. That's not part of the show.
Anything can happen in Chicago College, yeah.
Hey,
That's the end of Act 1, that's Act 2.
2, 4, 3. 3, 4. 2, 4. Well, the good thing is we got 10 minutes now. We only got about 5 minutes worth of code.
Those are the moments to
We
make this.
planned on it.
Thanks for demonstrating what are the things that can go wrong, Charlie.
And then Tom usually. Yeah. Hey. Oh, there you go.
Is that not a busy signal?
Where's the speaker on this thing?
No, honey, it is.
I don't know what part of it started moving back. Hey, Tom. Tom, are you there? Tom. Say hello. Oh, good. You're on speaker, but I can barely hear you. Okay. Well, I don't know. Is it down the bottom? Can you hear me? You guys hear Tom?
We can hear you.
Oh, we can hear you, man. from Cafe Ballou, right here in the heart of downtown Chicago. All right, so we're going to do this poem that you remembered that we wrote together. Everybody can't wait to hear you from all the way in Connecticut, man, in another time zone even. Okay, this is called Coming Home from O'Hare on the L one night. Coming home from O'Hare on the L one night. Late, I looked up into a third floor with no curtains where I saw a beautiful naked woman with long dark hair raise a saxophone to her lips and blow. I sat transfixed like the rest of the men in the L car, careening through the city night alone with my thoughts, with my suitcase between my legs. 3 flights above the street where life churned and burned and people lived and died. The beautiful women with long dark hair stood naked and alone by the open window and blew their saxophones. Yeah. Okay, Tom, now. I don't know why the phone's making funny noises, but anyway.
Because you just lost him.
Oh no.
Say hello.
Hello, are you there? Oh shit. Okay.
Do we want to try it? Oh, I don't have the speakerphone.
Can you get him? And then, can you get him and I'll read a poem and then he's going to. This is a poem about him. And he's got a poem about me. Isn't that reciprocal? All right. This guy's a very interesting guy. He's in Connecticut. You know what all his insurance companies are? And he had this terrible wife. So, except for my old girlfriends, I've written more poems about this guy because of this terrible wife and the things that used to happen. That's true.
Daddy, when I use a different phone, probably.
Because I'm not getting a signal.
Oh, okay.
Is this it?
Oh, we have a further assistance back here. We get 2 of them will have stereo.
All right, hold on a second. We're going to call you back on a different phone.
Better,
Okay,
you have to
we're
dial
right
back.
back.
You're on speaker. Oh, thank you, Brianna. Oh, right there. All right, there. Okay, here we are.
I love it. I love it. That's great. This is part of our show.
Put me on speaker. Oh, Brianna. Oh, man. Ooh, this is high tech.
Thank you, Brianna.
Brianna, yes.
Thank you, Brianna.
Hey there, baby. Wow. Brianna just gave us the big speaker ultraphone. Oh, the speaker's on the other side. Wow, it's so tricky to speak.
I really need to use my iPhone.
I would endorse this brand if I knew what it is. Okay, so Tom, are you ready? Good. I think we're not going to lose you with this baby. Okay. While we were waiting for you, I was going to read my poem about, you and Baudelaire first, or you could go first. These poems about each other, Should I go? Should I go first? Okay. Tom and I, anyway, I told Tom had this relationship. He knows I think she's a terrible wife. You're getting rid of her, I know. And that's good. I already told everybody your whole story. Anyway, so we get together every once in a while. I lived in Albany. We get together in Vermont and have a little overnight. And anyway, he worked for this insurance company. She endorsed that because she didn't like poetry. On meeting an old friend for an overnight, a poem on his recent life from the buddy Tom Nicotera. More at home with Baudelaire than a financial statement, you've turned your back on the world of 9 to 5 to pursue poetry. A noble goal, to be good at something before you die, and an uphill struggle. But then, the way you've chosen, hard, unmarked, opens out into the wild. And the path you've given up goes nowhere. Stick it out, old friend. You'll meet the beast you're looking for. Always try to encourage them.
Yeah.
Sure, go, baby. Say anything you want.
Wild man in the water, not father and son, bachelors baking in the sun, what's cooking on the watery horizon? Tell us some dreams to take a look. Could be a mystical trumpet.
Oh, thanks, man. I forgot you wrote this. That's so cool. You know, in the book of road poems, I've got my own poem about that day sitting in the stream. So I'm going to do that. All right, so hang on. One spring day in Pennsylvania. This is Tom's first poem, in case you get another angle on it, what it looked like from the stream. Sweating in midday heat, we stripped naked to soak in a fast-running brook. Laughing, unconcerned in the blazing sun. People on the trail above smiled and waved at our long-haired nakedness. Looks like fun, they shouted, as we sat soaking. Suddenly Robert said, "Hey, this is a state park. We can't do this." Okay, we dried off in flannel shirts and hiked on down the trail. All right. We have the final words for our large and enthusiastic audience here at Cafe Ballou.
Hello to Chicago.
And just for the record, what kind of bourbon are you sipping while you waited for the call?
I want to be a bourbon.
What brand are you sipping this evening? Let's give an endorsement there.
10 high.
10 high. Okay, you got the cheap stuff. That's all right. Okay, hey man, I'm ready to do this. I'm going to call out now, okay? Catch you later. Okay, bye-bye. He's a great guy, but I swear that wife gave me more poems.
Great yourself.
Now we're coming all the way out to Oak Park, Illinois, with a sign on the Eisenhower says it's 9 miles from the loop. Al wanted to be part of it, couldn't be here, so Al did you know. So we're going to give him a little ring-a-ding, and he's just going to read a poem myself, just to be part of it. And I thought, okay, he's not in Chicago. And we collaborate every other time. Hey, Al, baby. Hey, well, this is Chicago calls, man. How is it way out there in Oak Park? Huh? How you doing, man? Oh my God, I forgot. Oh well, cool, excellent. Well, you see.
I'm literally calling it in this time.
Cool, excellent, excellent. Everybody's here, so you're a really good crowd here at Cafe Ballou. Yeah. Might be enthusiastic. I just talked to Tom in Connecticut. Now, you said you got your, was it a depressed hippie poem or some kind of hippie poem?
This is a poem called The Hippie Lament.
Oh, good. Well, whip it on us. Anytime. Okay, you're on. Are we breaking up?
Call it in.
Okay, we got you. I think we got you. We were skipping a little bit there.
Okay, well, not knowing what everybody's read so far, I told Charlie to read my hippie lament. So, calling it in from New York, here we go. So, if you're ready, Charlie, I will begin.
Anytime. We are ready. Way out here in the flyover zone.
Okay, this is called Nobody Told Me, or The Hippie's Lament. Written after touching John Lennon's piano at the Rock and Roll basically. The 21st century's schizoid man is at the door holding a loaded M16. Standing tall and camo-clad prosthesis, he blows into his rifle muzzle, fingering a familiar saxophone solo, a song we can hum, but it ain't rock and roll anymore. Strange days indeed, most peculiar, mama. We read all the latest books, followed the recipes for being, for mystic puffenhood. We believe that the soul is as easy to find as the G-spot. Insert your fingers, palm up, feels like a throbbing ruby shining in the middle of the forehead. We avoid the deadly sins now, no greed inhabits our genetic code. as instinctive as kissing a nipple. Country road from Woodstock fading, blurry double yellow line leading us to the hazy horizon, our vanishing point. We scatter palms like breadcrumbs, see guitars from high-tension wires, still nothing's changed. Our kids don't know the old songs, and we don't listen anymore. Strange days indeed.
Amen. 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 All right. Thank you, Al. Wall Street. Okay, I'm out of time. I'm out of here. Thanks a lot, Al. This is very cool. All right, catch you later. Yeah.
All right,
Thank you, Brianna. Thank you for my tech team. I really appreciate that. Wow, this thing is got a problem speaker, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, I think you're on. Say something. Do a test.
Al's not occupying Wall
Who's talking?
Sid.
That's it.
Hey, Sid.
Hey, Trevor. Larry, you want to show us the screen for us?
How do I do?
Turn on the screen, video screen.
Yeah, will I get to see you on
Yes, you
those
will.
views?
You will. You will. Yes, you will.
Yep.
Yep. I'm right here. Where the fish at?
Hey, you're wearing the Kuypers t-shirt?
Yes, I am. I am. Turn on the screen. Partner in crime who we can't see right now. But this is Clara Morks of Aarhus, Denmark. Let's give her a nice round of applause. Clara is going to be reading us a poem about a squirrel. This is a piece called Flight of the Satanic Danish Squirrel.
Yeah.
Okay, Clara, go.
Okay. On the sound.
Go ahead, Clara.
To do my fucking beloved job. Well, hello there, Mr. Squirrel.
How's it going today?
Hi, hi. Hi there. Hi.
Thank you.
me like that?
Why? I need no reasons. I need no reasons.
By the way, when did you get your rabies shot last?
Mr. Squirrel, why did you bite me?
Wanted to verify if you had rabies or not.
Protein. I need protein. I need protein.
As they say in America, that's 30. Thanks so much for staying up so late with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
And folks, let's give
Incredibly low tech. Let's have Sandra Santiago go on this stage. Sandra is collaborating with John. How do you say that name again? John Amon, who's actually on tour right now, so he doesn't have time to call in or anything like that. So filling in, doing John's part, will be our own Mr. Matt Barton.
All right. Great.
Gonna make him sound like a Nigerian?
No.
This one is after the invasion. It's a bit apocalyptic, but make of it what you will. Buildings positioned in perfect order, dotted with artificial stars that mock the metallic skyline. Cars slip through shadows cast by street lights glowing a muted yellow. The sparse population below meanders in and out of the dim corners of the long night. I can't seem to teach myself anything of substance that might sweep my breath past the same drumbeat into a fresh patch of sky. In the distance, the lie factory, gleaming machines constantly humming. It never sleeps, starved mannequins twisting excuses into mandates. The kingdom groaning forward, weary with its own demands.
Blackness hovers outside. No neon lights blink brazenly. No obtrusive sounds shatter thoughts. Only the barrenness of silence soaking into the core of things. Someone has figured out the sky will collapse in 5.7 years. The dollar is taking its last gasp in a motel room outside Hollywood. Rumor circulates that the interval god hasn't shown up for work in days. I rise from banal obligations, my continuous boast slowly dismantling. Narcissism is narcissism, someone says. No fertile castles where the soil is sick. I see what I think has been forgotten, but in truth was never known. The past that didn't happen. The future I can't imagine. Such heartache and duplicity, such deceit and grandeur. In the end, what saves you has to kill you first.
In the morning, after everyone has released the hammer of his or her gun, when cameras are no longer flashing traffic signs as it would on any Monday. Hundreds of pedestrians gathering outside government buildings to welcome the newborn, the refugees, those who came close to sinking in the flood, but who were able to grip whatever they gripped. They find their way to a new dawn, crossing hushed boundaries, singing ancestral blues. Thank you.
Hey, can I mention that there's other Chicago calling stuff going on for like the next 12 days all over the city?
Oh, no, you didn't.
You really should look that up. Check out Poetry Word of Mouth from Charlie. Come to the Waiting for the West Bus website and check out Word of Mouth there. Lots of things going on, especially another event kind of like this one happening tomorrow at the Cafe.
Yeah. Is that 5115 North Lincoln?
That is 5115 North Lincoln Avenue, right? And it's a really fun show. And I'm going to call up to the host of that show right now. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Janet Kuypers.
I have tried to make this as self-contained as possible. I couldn't get the man from South Africa to have the time to be here right at this very moment. He's got a busy schedule, and actually he's getting ready to come to a U.S. tour, including Chicago. He's going to be playing in Chicago on the 15th of October.
15th or 16th?
16th. Oh, thank you. I just screwed that up by saying that. Sorry. On the 16th. That's a Sunday. If you want to know about it, go to janetkuypers.com. If you want to know how to spell my name, I put it on a stupid folder. Or you can go to hamanworld.com as well. I have music from him in a number of pieces, and the only video I had of him was from the last time he was in Chicago. So I thought I'd play that for you. You're going to hear a number of pieces, including the first piece off of this is off of our first and probably only CD set called Burn Through Me, with his paintings in the background. So I hope you enjoy. Hope the volume's good for this. It seems to be no volume. This should be playing. It isn't it? this one again. The Confederates are winning the war battle, but I know the North will win the war. And all they'll get is a ravaged battlefield. The civil war is raging inside of me, and I'm tired of fighting from within. What I want is a revolution. So we were walking along Santa Monica Boulevard. We passed a young homeless man, and he asked, "Could you spare $100,000? And I thought, well, of course he won't get it. But of all the places in the world, this is the only place where he could actually get away with asking for it. At our annual garage sale this year, all these old couples came walking by. They were from the Russian neighborhood. They could barely speak English. They would pick up an iron. How much? $4. 50 cents? No. It was a warm Indian summer day. We were all clad in shorts and sunglasses. They would point at an iron, a toaster, a blender, all for $1? No. And all the old couples wore raincoats and scarves wrapped around their heads. They would pick up a wine glass. How much? 25 cents. How about 10? Sometimes the understanding travels into the realm of the unknown. All we can do is hope, search, dream, because we'll never find. Sometimes the light is not enough. From the picture window, the snow drizzling down fell effortlessly, silently. I wondered if outside it was as quiet as it looked. The snow blanketed the grass past the pier his father made last summer out over the lake. Everything glowed in an untouched whiteness. No footprints yet, just falling snow. From the couch, I looked at the larger-than-life snowflakes fall, one after another, all gently gliding down to the ground. I could not look away. And you said, "This is why I like winters. See, you hate winter in the city, but this you watch for hours and don't get tired of. This makes you smile. This you don't hate." I've seen her this way so many nights before. She's on the recliner during primetime television, and she just can't stay awake any longer. And she's sound asleep, and the television's blaring. And so many times I've tapped my mother on the shoulder to wake her, or I've raised my voice to bring her back. But this time, I had to kiss her on the cheek. It's my little way of telling her I loved her every day for the rest of my life. I heard last week that you died. I called your office to ask you a question, and the receptionist had to tell me. Of course, I didn't hear it from your family. How would they know to call me? They don't even know my last name and think I was a heathen and no good for you. They, tied to you by blood, never knew I wished for that tie to you too. They never knew I put you on a pedestal. they never knew I made you my God. I went to your funeral today. I wore a veil over the brim of my hat and stayed in the back while they lowered your casket into the ground. When everyone was at your gravesite, the minister talked about the ones you left behind. Your parents, your brother, your sister. But what he didn't know was that you left me behind, too. The one that loved you the most. I knew I could never have you in my life, but I needed to know that you were alive so that I could go on living. And the minister spoke of how your family would miss you. And I thought, what about me? What do I do with nothing to love? I managed to put a few of them together so I could do it in one. But I had one piece that some of you may have heard of before. It was actually performed in the Seeing a Psychiatrist show, and it has not only my vocals but also vocals from now living in Colorado, Jared Smith, but it's music from the homeland of South Africa. This piece is called Last Before Extinction. Now he has so many opportunities.
Now he has so many opportunities.
He has nothing to lose. Why not come out of the wilderness, attack everything it sees?
Why not come out of the wilderness, attack everything it sees?
Kill something, suck the blood out, make him feel alive for once more. Let them try to restrain him. He has nothing to lose.
Kill something, suck the blood out, make him feel alive for once more.
And for now, it can fly to the highest redwood, look out over the world, despise the world that made him be alone, leaving him alone.
Who will carry his name?
Who will carry his name?
Who will care for him?
Who will care for him when he is old?
Who can he read bedtime
Who can read bedtime stories to? And for now, she can feel death creeping upon him closer and closer. He wants to scream. He calls upon nature. The tides rise, earthquakes shatter homes. He does not feel vindicated. He is lost. And for now, she can swim to the deepest, darkest cave in the Pacific, hide from the solitude, swim lower and lower. Can she find where all the other animals from dying species hide? Can she find them? There must be others. They can understand. They can live together at the bottom of the earth. Could they show their pain for their species? Show what is left of their love? Create a new race?
Soon they will be no more.
Soon they will be no more.
And we will be taking their bones.
And we will be taking their bones, reassembling them, studying their form, rebuilding their lives, revering them more than we ever did in life.
This is what it all becomes.
This is what it all becomes.
This is what it all boils down to.
This is what it all boils down to. Study the bones.
Study the bones.
Study the mistakes.
Study the mistakes.
Study the bones.
Study the bones.
Thank you all very, very much. Thank you all in South Africa. Let's see you taking the applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all so very much.
Alright. The mic's tall, I'm gonna be tall.
Sorry.
It's okay. This is rare for me. So I worked with a visual artist in St. Louis by the name of Tony Renner.
Yeah.
This first piece is called These Messes, which looks very much like that except sideways. These messes never seem to come out clean. Debris of everything that was, will be, broken shards of bone, heart, are never unseen. I count the leftover seconds in the trash, nip rotten banana peels off old love, requited and beehive skull smashing mirrors till all is an empty rattle, smears remnants of a prison of me, all broken, reduced to shards and stains, and these messes never seem to come out clean. Thank you. This is the next one, like this. Soul stare memories remind you of rings you never purchased. Children who never breathe the air. Flower petals ripped off as you sing, she loves me not. Always finding a pessimistic flower, a green eye staring deep into you, telling you every truth you'd rather avoid. Reminding you of green irises, the way you looked into heavens thanking God, trying to remember how you ever managed to be happy without her. Thank you. This next one is entitled The Tapestry. Last rites twist like loving tongues, sharing spit like ambrosia, coiled snakes in the tree of life, purring to the inexperienced lambs below, whose opposable thumbs only seem to quicken the shearing process. Fur falling into the sea, whose crashes and fins curl into tails. Ask human torsos to grow humane. Find the misnamed portion of man poorly maintained, shimmering like a light bulb on last legs, begging moths to circle again. I slowly blinking like the last notes of a forgotten song, and staring at cave walls, forgotten shards of personality, fine cartographer fingers, placing them back into recognizable shapes, still shadows, growing tendrils who look round legs, breathing seaweed into ears until head bursts, fully grown from the womb the side of Shakespeare's head, sword in hand, ignoring the laughs in Yorick's hollow lips, as dead man reads truth never written down, aloud to the mystified and somehow uninterested right, with twists like loving tongues, sharing spit like ambrosia. Thank you. This last piece is short. Except now. That was the intermission music. Welded eyelids beg sun, stay on shelf. Lie to nose and skin who already reach out stubby arms, crying for a mother who isn't coming. Thank you.
If you like the picture, I'm the third collaborator on this.
Above receding chains and shackles, crackling with life and fire. Unthinking hands conspire to clip her wings to blunt definitions, constrain her to dull flesh simplified, contained within a cage of words built on dirt and sand. She prays for wind to lift her, an unmelting Icarus to the sun, to paint her gloriously invisible, blinding the world to her escape.
Is this going to pick up okay for the recording without the mic? I thought I'd ask.
Pardon me?
Because I hate it if people see the recording.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, but I'm saying the recording going to get you.
Okay. You think it can?
I thought I would
I'm not
ask.
sure.
He says he's not sure. Use the mic monitor just to be on the
No.
safe
Did you start over
side.
again?
Turn up that work.
I don't know. Alright, how's that? And Robin, why don't you move it over a little bit more?
If you don't look at it, it's my turn.
Sure.
Okay.
Alright.
Thank you. Okay, this is called First Kiss. Now, new beginnings, soft remembrances, timeless passion. Now, in all its sincerity, all its urgency, this kiss is eternal, infinite, flowing like light, like heat, flowing simply now. A brief moment of fleeting, flowing expression now, which lasts forever. And the journey begins, liquid and serene, gentle smiles, welcoming eyes, inviting as fantasy takes a breath. Now, anticipation sings, desire floods outward, inward, outward. Hesitation crumples to the floor as passion rises, pin pricking soft skin. Arms reach, hands reach, explore lines, curves, textures of cotton hair, flesh and fire. Fingers dance and twine. Time stops. Now, feel. Mouth grows full. Breath hot and moist. Lips sweet. Now and wet. Forget now as tongues collide. Gentle roughness. Colors explode. Now and lips sing souls. Taste heaven as a dream is now realized. Mediocre words. White lines on white paper, invisible ink spills in the frenetic monochrome of emptiness, even and unbending. Life's pages filled with black and white, which blur to gray with each day's stanza, predictably stilted, cliched and bland. We write only ghost words, bloodless, haunting our imagination, taunting our unfilled expectation with doodle. Confined to margins, afraid to make a mark, afraid to take a chance, afraid of falling, afraid of failing. But what defines a life well lived? Money, power, beauty, or breathing fire to make hearts flame? We long to leave something behind, something that inspires, something stronger than our fragile human hands. Desire ignites deep within flesh emblazoned. Our souls cry out, I am here, I am now, see me. Lest my essence wash over you, flood through you, but only silence listens. It stopped with its stopped ear, still. Across white pages, blues, purples, reds, greens, rainbows from our fingertips smudge our words into tomorrow, saturating the gray universe with infinite love and color, changing the whole goddamn world one line at a time. And the last one is called Indigo Sky. Night. I cannot sleep. As heavy velvet unrolls across the city, deep purple blankets the air, muffles the shapes of a million dreams and regrets. Tiny diamond stud charcoal clouds, and I wonder, will it be this way on the other side? When I rest my head on the yielding clouds, peel back a tiny corner, unpick a seam of memory, will I look down and see the sun or the moon? Or just the rise and fall of softly breathing streets, my footprints tangling in their forgetful night? Somewhere, beyond yawning buildings, the quiet of light plays its gentle melody. Fleeting fancies dance across the pre-dawn sky, and mine are the only eyes to see. The night sleeps, and I am content.
like to call up the guy who's been running our technical department all night. A lot of people call him Wayne Allen Jones. I like to refer to him as Mixmaster Wager. He teamed up with a guy from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Right? Zachary Klutzman. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, Wayne Allen Jones. It's W-A-J-E-R.
Well, this has always been exciting, as usual. Zach and I didn't quite get our shit together. I don't think he ever got Skype. He never let me know if he did get it. But the fallback plan Q was for him to read these poems to whoever he was with, even if it was in his kitchen, and I would read them here with the esteemed crowd at Cafe Ballou and Chicago Calling.
Where is Zachary right now?
We are the winners. So what we did was we decided to adopt a theme of fathers. And he had some father poems, I had some father poems. I suggested an interleaving of these things. He seemed to think that was okay. And we will get through as many of these as we can. They're not very long. Oh, what a shock. Wayne Jones and no long poems? Crap, let's go home.
Well, Zach don't slouch either.
Nah, hey, you know, but the introduction's long enough. Hey, all right. Anyway, here we go. Start with Zach. Little red fire truck to the rescue. How many memories begin with little red wagons? Mine was a fire truck, but anything on wheels when you're 4 is a wagon. So, how many wagons pulling how many scrappy little sisters with sheet metal cuts on their shins and brown eyes full of stubborn? How many trips to the tree at the end of the block to fill up on pecans? Carry the rest back in brown paper grocery sacks? How many red wagons used to rifle through garbage cans for old Playboys? To be sold to the old biker next door for a pocket full of change. That meant Popeye's spicy chicken, the world's best buttered biscuits, a 32-ounce soda, and a handful of root beer barrels. How many people can a fire truck carry when it's pulled by a 4-year-old? It couldn't carry a family. Or him, my old man, when they let him out of prison for 1 hour that day, so he could bring it to me and leave. Where was my rescue? No conflicting messages at all. The dog. When watching my father work in the basement or the driveway, I leaned on benches or fenders, arms crossed, neck craned for a better look. I saw no mystery in his method, no sleight of hand, no double-edged logic possible only from long hours of practice. He was precise and never stopped till finished. No surface of walnut or mahogany rumpled from failed gestures to undo the gouges and ridges from sanding discs or belts. He shunned metal, but loved the harder woods. He embraced the challenge of their forgiveness. Every bowl or salad tong followed a rigid line. He knew that no lines in his designs flowed. When he wanted a free curve, he called for my hand. I watched and learned the work, how to hold the tools, to sway body and arms together, to take the sanding down one grade at a time, to wet the wood till the poor fibers fell to 4/0 paper. He let me practice each step once to get the feel. Then he'd always finish on his own long after I'd left. He saw the work as a dance for one person and many things. I learned this too. My son tired more quickly of watching. Much later, I could honor what I learned from him, but I rarely felt more than a visitor indulged in passing. I recall my laughter, like eating lemons, when I heard he got a dog the week I went away to school. Aviary. Blackbirds sitting in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. Paul McCartney. Blackbird huddled behind angry throw pillows littering the couch. Eyes hiding behind cigar smoke, his tongue as thick as a deck of wet cards. Watching the closet not for the confusion of pathways, the doorknobs present, but the dangerous hanger, slack-shouldered and hungry. Sectional mirrors left over from discotheques abuse the bed. Light bulbs hang their heads in the presence of stark, naked windows. Modest comfort, fruit on the table, milk-heavy breast under her sweater. Mother's refrigerator sits heavy and slack-jawed with liquor. Fledgling, featherless daughter considers the windows peeling apples. The lock blade cuts her thumb, releasing a small wind trapped in her blood. He stopped eating steaks after he lost 2 or 3 of his front teeth at the same time. Never big on brushing, he'd gotten longer in the tooth year by dental year. Nothing remained strong enough to anchor bridges. He'd forget where he left his plate in the dark. Every solid food shook his shallow roots, but focused like an old basset, mouth wide, he'd spear, tear, and mash away at his hunger. Never more than one hobby at a time, he bought the right tools, read the thin pamphlet or two, and worked on the best materials from the start. Tennis, ping pong, leather, wood, technical craftsman, no sense of design. He solved the towers of Hanoi without coaching. Rural Texas gave him a scar or two that showed more as he aged. I remember dinner with the jet black man from Africa when I was 5. Dad learned one summer how neat and clean most urban poor kept their houses when he worked slums of Detroit door to locked door. Country views hardened when his heart went bad and he quit work. He hated the city mayor for greed and corrupt friends. They were black. Reagan did no wrong. Teddy, a bad man trying to do good the wrong way. Clinton he scorned for what he himself had done for years. The blonde in Flagstaff, my piano teacher, the colleague he married, but he held strong, unwavering. He believed and carried through. Wooden slat pickets scattered in the yard, our front porch is coming undone. The kids are building nests in the kitchen, carrying the splinters of our marriage in the bags beneath their eyes. Building havens for warm bodies to empty their throats with cries for their mother bird, to stretch those snakes that crept into bed between us, into delicate meals, waiting for Mama to start filling the tree with her song. This heart-wrung wren with her children starving over the corpse of their father here in our kitchen. Mirror, mirror, the father's thoughts. I can't tell him what I mean, how small I feel when bowels move without permission. I know what to do. I cleaned up the John, changed to my new PJs, and carried the soiled marker of my aging to the laundry. I'll argue tomorrow about how to do the wash when Dana's here. I feel my mushy heart bound when the cans fall. I look around for the little boy or his mother, the ones who always leave through the closet. They've never been this noisy, but it's only my son here for a week. He's sorry to startle me. All I can say is, I have to do it to the stuff. Everything is stuff. My brain's gone soft. I've lost the sounds of nouns. The solid facts turned to stuff and things. I want to say, it's all right, son. I just soiled my PJs. Nothing special. But my tongue fails when I see his sad face. And the last one, Don Quixote, my father. He was probably a better man than I think, perhaps a saint in sunburnt armor when not lost in the lusty, quixotic throes of almost success that drove him to drink like a man whose other woman sends her panties to arrive in the mail on Monday morning. Both threat and tease. Perhaps the handfuls of lysergic acid, LSD, made a mean sense of his hopeless desire to be somebody's hero. Rescue her from a burning building, save a child from drowning, eat enough of the sky to learn the mechanics of wings. He was probably preparing a flight path for me. In his mind, a disadvantageous failure to understand that in battle with windmills, wings could become the enemy. He was probably a better man than I think, but no heroism necessary, Dad, just a better ending than the one you were writing. Thank you very much.
There's only 2 performers left for the evening. Now, normally during the evening, Stevie and I would take a break and let you all do the same. We've decided not to do that tonight, but unfortunately, we still have to hold you captive for these announcements.
Wow.
Right. Coming up this Friday at St. Paul's Cultural Center is the Omniphonic Challenge. The battle of the poetry bands, kids. People performing that night are, of course, Omniphonic. The Bob Lawrence Experience. The Second Accent. And Zoot Suit Beatnik. It's going to be a hell of a good time.
Right.
Right.
There was 3 acts.
What?
Were there only 3 acts?
No, 4.
Oh, I didn't hear the 4th.
It's Omniphonic.
Oh, I know it's Tom Rose.
And then, no, that's Tom Rogan. Oh, okay. The Bob Lawrence Experience.
That's the fourth.
It's
Got
the
it.
Bob Lawrence Experience.
Got it.
And then, coming up here on the 17th, I believe it's the 17th.
17th, yes.
Right? Well, we turn to our regular open mic format. Our theme that night is love and death. And our feature is, for the first time here at Cafe Ballou, Mr. Dan Cleary. But it's October, and you know what October has.
Fifth Monday.
Right? October has a fifth Monday. And this fifth Monday is Halloween. So instead of having somebody come in and do a long form poetry piece, we're going to hold an official Halloween open mic.
All right.
Bring out scary shit and wear your costumes, kids. I'm done. Do you have anything more?
Other than details about tomorrow at Chicago Calling at the cafe. If anybody is interested tomorrow for Chicago Calling, come on up to the cafe.
It's the free poet warning. Free.
Al DeGenevo's going to read at my Opera Books October 15th, Saturday night at 7 p.m.
So,
a Coke. Right. So now we should call up Janine Reyes. You know, she's playing with Omniphonic. Janine Reyes, who is working with Stephanie Miller from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Does anybody know how it goes? I'm calling people up in random order by gender and height.
Yeah, gender and height. Hey, next lifetime I'm tall. Yeah, I'm working with Steph Miller, who's an incredible artist from Atlanta. She does sculpture, she does vignettes, what doesn't she do? And this is my first poem. I'm doing a series of poems called Chronicles of Scarborough. And these are influenced by Bertrand's Gaspard de la Nuit. And Bertrand was the first poet who actually created prose poetry. So I'm starting with Scarborough at the Carnival. A moon that hangs in the sky like a curled glowworm. Evening, aglow with the lanterns of 1,000 fireflies. The sounds of screams, snivels, sighs, whistles, bells, the thud of a mallet, more bells, demonic laughter. Scarborough is dashing from booth to booth. Here he climbs on top of a box, takes aim at a row of fake ducks that fall back into darkness with each pop, pop, pop of a carnival gun. There he goes with his ticket to ride the carousel, wooden white horses, gilded chariot, fierce lions, tigers garlanded with roses, to stretch with stubby fingers for the golden ring just beyond his reach, then off again to ride the Ferris wheel. That sparkling monster that glints in the dark like an open ivory fan. The looping roller coaster screaming all the way down, down, down. While he holds on only to insist on a visit to the funhouse where he will bare his milk white teeth in the funhouse mirrors that stretch him to an even greater height until at last I drag him home as a guttering fireworks display shoots one last rocket into a sky of the deepest cerulean blue. This is Judgment Dream in 4 parts. Scarborough rocks on both feet, wears a Yahweh mask, recites Arvith from Nightfall at the electronic cash register, smokes Camels through clenched teeth, has a second-rate Derringer in one hand, Tor in the other, wears a kippah, palette, short pants, sleeveless shirt, threads of fringe, says he wants all he got, or else. I'm standing back, hands in the air, one eye on Scarborough, one eye on the camera, because the devils come around the corner where I keep the hookah. Drug paraphernalia, illegal Cuban cigars, defective condoms. I can clearly see he wants me to. Has an original Philadelphia Derringer aimed at me, the rare kind with a funny spelling, and an extra gun tucked in his belt just in case his aim is bad. Go ahead, I'm thinking. Give that masked bastard Scarborough anything he wants, prayers at least 3 times a day, money for Zedekiah, 50 cents each time I light the votive candle, the wearing of the chain, sure, knees, money for the poor box, white envelopes on Sundays, that will keep me going, keep me alive. 2. Sure, he's got me fixed with that gun and he's grinning through yellow teeth, wet cigarette. While he counts the tape, discards useless change, fake $20 bills I laundered in the basement yesterday, looks at all my deeds, misdeeds, debts, regrets, like he's some sort of god. I know I'm dead meat now, as the saying goes, and Scarborough's angel-faced bodyguard, rocking on white wing-tipped feet, is growing impatient. Words don't count now. They're useless toothpicks when Scarborough thinks it's about time to turn off the light on my not-so-blissful existence. 3. Scarborough in his Yahweh mask, Buddha on his lotus, Christ with his cross. All 3 of them, with their props, have always been in cahoots. I can't pretend I didn't know it. They've been waiting for me and you and you and you, lined up like shoppers at Danny's Discounts on any Tuesday afternoon. 4. The line is moving slowly, but I can hear the register ringing up the change. My change. There's nothing I can do about it. Scarborough and the boa constrictor. Scarborough wears a bracelet in the shape of a snake, biting its own tail, and bands of gold and copper on his right wrist. A green tattooed scarab rests on his left. It is holding a tattooed African funeral mask. Would it surprise you to know that this lover of the Arabos, the scarab, the macabre, breeds blue-eyed rats that he feeds to his pet boa constrictor? No? Then here it is. Scarborough's albino monster that he keeps in vivarium, his 10-foot, 60-pound female who sleeps in a bowl of water, or else nests on aspen shavings, and 12 hours of light, 12 hours of darkness. Note how it moves slowly from the cool end to the warm end of the enclosure, lies in wait to feed on one squealing blue-eyed rat. The trembling Scarborough has dropped into the glassed-in space with a thump. Poor creature. I can hardly bear to hear its almost human screams as it attempts to flee the snake who grabs it with its teeth, then constricts it until it expires and is consumed. While Scarborough watches with the avid look of an excited child at the circus, and I stand there mesmerized. Then I finally pull myself away, run down the stairs to the street below to the tavern, where I smell the faint odor of Ancyllian orchids, the very orchids at the end of the bar, the bartender will insist on overwatering.
Okay.
Jackson Pollock in 1939 did quite a few psychoanalytic drawings, and so Scarbo is very much interested in art, etc. So this is titled Scarbo and the Psychoanalytic Drawings of Jackson Pollock. Scarbo is carrying a small folio of some Pollock drawings, images he has tracked down and purchased from their owners, drawings Jackson did while a Jungian analysand of Dr. Henderson during the months between 1939 and 1940, drawings of disembodied skulls, horses in various poses, snakes, masks, stick figures, contorted women that were clearly influenced by the work of Picasso, Miro, non-Western artist. Scarbo is smiling like a cat with a litter of mice between its paws. Here we have a drawing of a Picasso bull, a Guernica facsimile in colored pencil, lead pencil. There, some Aztec and Indian imagery in colored pencil and crayon, the not-so-distant echoes of art and more, some that merge the primitive and the sophisticated on small pieces of paper and black ink, lead pencil. And last, the crucified Christ with 3 spinning figures in yellow, blue, green, and red gouache that Jackson did as a parting gift to his therapist. Whether these rarities are really psychoanalytic drawings or not, we'll never know. That argument will last as long as these drawings exist, but I own some of them, possess their artistic energy, says Scarbo with a smirk. Then Scarbo puts each drawing back into the leather box, takes off his white gloves. The bells on his slippered feet jingling like bells hanging on a cat's collar.
Okay, unless somebody else walks in the door, this is the 2-poet warning. Right, poet who did just walk in the door and he asked me, to save him a spot for the night. Ladies and gentlemen, host of the reading at the Cafe Mestizo, Vittorio Carli. I have no idea who Vito's collaborator is, but I'm going to find out. Oh, there's also a 10-minute thing. When you get close, when you're 9 minutes, she'll wave at you, and when you hit 10, we'll clap. Yeah, I'll be shorter. Cool.
Actually, I have a new book from Third Eye, pressed the third time. It's a passion for apathy, the collective rejected poems of Vittorio Carli. And I've actually been collaborating with one person a really long time, Carolyn Curtis Magri, for 15 years. I did one new poem with her, and there's an old poem which she illustrated for this cover. So I'll do the old one first and then the newer one. This is the first one we did together. Personal apocalypse. Writer poised and primed for greatness, with high ambitions, divine aspirations, reaches up to the sky, but the sky thought crumbles. He falls into quicksand. Enters a woman, opens her box, and all the poisons hatch out. Giant fears roll magenta bowling balls on the street, knocking down lampposts like pins, blocking traffic, causing 12, 14, 15 car collisions, smashing larynxes and collarbones of people that are uncovered by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. And Hershey's Kisses go up in price until they're more expensive than gas. And kids can't afford to pay for them in machines. Poor babbles on and peddles toothpaste that will brighten your smile on television 35 hours straight. And sales go up 3,000%.
The government cuts off all tax subsidies from television. That's all they can do to make money. And rotund people of both sexes begin to make the covers of GQ. Elizabeth Taylor stops getting married as the ACO opens. It's even worse than the 7. There's no portentous Swedish filmmaker contemplated. The aquatic parasites gather at the time of the month and they drink nitroglycerin as they lay about mouthing trite, rehearsed lines about how art is dead, everything's been done, as they lay limply, inertly in the street as cars roll in town, mashing them into slimy pieces. The spectators go home disappointed there'll be no pick this season. Thanks. This is a new one that kind of goes with that dim picture of the scissors. He just sent me this recently. Mine said the stone, mine is the power. I crush the scissors, such as my power stronger than dreams. My hour alone. Mine said the paper, mine are the words, the smother the stone, the imagined phoenix arising from the mind of the shaper. Mine said the scissors, mine is the knives, mine is the paper's ethereal lives. Nothing so proper as tearing wishes. As stone crumbled scissors, as paper must stone. The scissors cut paper, all end alone. So heap up your paper and scissor your wishes. Uproot your stone from the top of the hill. They all end alone, as you will. Thanks. For a free sale price of $8.
And when are you doing your next Cafe Mestizo?
Oh, October 15th. There's flyers going around.
Lee Groban.
And
you're flashing. Enough said.
Oh, okay. Flashing?
For the last performer of the evening, I wanted to do something that involved as many different places as possible without anybody being live on stage.
All right.
To help introduce as many people as possible without anybody being live on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, to help introduce this, Mr. Charlie Newman.
This was done in collaboration. I did the words. It was done in collaboration with Chicago Word Brigade, which is 2 people. They did the music. Zan Hoffman from Louisville, Kentucky, did the vocal. And the Munich Word Brigade, 2 more people in Munich, Germany, did the video. This whole thing is on video, so there's nothing live. And yeah, it's over 10 minutes. Sorry. Nothing I can do about that.
You're our final act, so I suppose if people don't want to watch it.
Just, there it is. I hope you can hear it. Oh. Oh, we need more volume. Put the mic on it. Crank it.
Can you take the mic?
Oh yeah, great.
Live.
Thank you.
Before we go further, let's give you a big hand for all our performers this evening. Especially the tech master way down Jones. For me, Matt and Stevie for the hell of it. And one for Dan Godston who helped put this thing together. What? Oh, for a whole throw for Brooklyn. And the house, I can't wait out.